Who's winning in this economy right now?
The rich, guys like me. You know, we have gone from having 93 billion, top 400, in 1982 to having 2.4 trillion, 25 for one. People who, it becomes a more and more specialized market economy. It was an agrarian economy a couple hundred years ago. It's very hard, you know, to get 20 times the wealth of the next guy because you were a little bit better farmer. But if you're better at some skills now, you can become incredibly wealthy at a very young age, not because you earned the money to build one steel mill and then saved it to buy another steel mill. So you get the capitalized value of an idea. And so the wealth moves big time, even on an anticipatory basis. And that has become more accentuated in the last 30 years.
Ever pondered the secret behind the wealth of the elite? Here's the scoop. It's not about reckless spending. Contrary to belief, the wealthy don't toss their money around. They're meticulous spenders and savvy investors. If your vibe is all about the facade of affluence without the foundation of real wealth, this advice might not be your cup of tea. Feel free to exit if carefree spending is your groove. But a heads up, that flashy lifestyle today might leave you with just tails by 50. No dream crushing here, just a nudge to hustle now for wealth later. Stick around for 6 personal finance tips to pave your way to riches. Number 1, investing in lasting value. One of the remarkable traits of the wealthy is their ability to discern lasting value. Unlike those who chase short-lived trends, the rich prioritize quality over quantity. In this section, we delve into how the wealthy carefully choose durable and timeless possessions, emphasizing the importance of longevity in their investments. From fashion choices to furniture, discover why the wealthy focus on items that stand the test of time, aligning themselves with practicality, sustainability, and a strategic approach to spending. Number 2, the perils of an overpriced home. Now let's talk about something many might find surprising: the downsides of buying a super expensive house. While having a fancy address sounds appealing, it might not be the best move if you're aiming for true wealth. Owning a home is more than just an initial cost. It's a long-term commitment with continuous financial implications. If you're content with an above-average level of wealth, purchasing a house could be okay. However, if your goal is genuine richness, putting all your hard-earned money into a house might not be the smartest play. Consider this. It took you years to save that money, and by investing it in a house, you miss out on potential opportunities to make more money. I'm not saying don't buy a house at all. If you rent part of it out or invest in property, that can be a savvy move. But if you're not doing any of these things, renting might actually be a more financially sound decision. While some might argue that buying a house is always a good idea, times have changed. Getting a mortgage nowadays is like putting your money in a locked savings account, only beneficial if you plan on wasting the money. So, if you want to be truly rich, consider looking for better investment opportunities than a house to live in, and always weigh the long-term financial benefits.
Stocks are safe for the long run, and they're very unsafe for tomorrow. Berkshire, 3 times since I took over, has gone down roughly 50%. Did I feel poor then? No, not at all. I knew it was going to be worth more over time. American business is going to be worth more over time. That's what you're buying as a business. You're not buying a stock. You're buying a piece of a whole bunch of businesses. Are those businesses going to be worth more 10 or 20 or 30 years from now? Of course they are.
Number 3, understanding your investments. Now, let's dive into the world of investments and why rich folks tend to stay away from companies they find confusing. Investing in stocks can be a way to make money, but not every stock is easy to understand. Rich people avoid putting their money into things they don't get because they believe in making smart choices and avoiding risks. If you invest in something you don't understand, it's like walking in the dark. You might stumble and fall. Even big investors like Warren Buffett, who's really good at making money, won't invest in things he doesn't get. Buffett says you should invest in things you know about, things that make sense to you. He's kind of like a wise friend who says don't play with things you don't understand. Following this advice has helped him make lots of money in companies like Coca-Cola and Gillette. Things he totally gets. So, if you're thinking about investing, remember to choose things that make sense to you. It's like having a map when you go on an adventure. You won't get lost, and you'll have a better chance of finding treasure. Number 4. Luxury items and smart spending. Now let's chat about fancy things and how rich people are like experts at not spending too much on them. When it comes to designer clothes, handbags, and shoes, the wealthy have this cool trick. They don't go crazy splurging on them. Sure, they might look really nice, But rich folks know it's not about spending tons of money just to look good. See, they're smart about it. It's not that they don't like nice clothes. It's just that they don't want to pay a crazy amount just for a brand name. Designer clothes can be super expensive just because of the hype around the brand, and that's not what the rich are all about. They get that it's okay to treat themselves sometimes, but they also know the difference between what they want and what they really need. So instead of filling up their closets with super pricey brands, many millionaires prefer to be clever with their money. Some even shop at thrift stores. You know, those cool places where you can find hidden gems without spending a ton. It's like being a smart shopper and not letting brand names rule your wallet. Before you decide to splash out on something really expensive, ask yourself if you truly need it. You might just discover a more budget-friendly option that your wallet will totally appreciate later on.
Money has no utility to me. Time has utility to me, but money in terms of making trips or owning more houses or having a boat or something, it has no utility to me whatsoever. It has a lot of utility to other people, which is the reason for the giving pledge.
What motivates you to still run a company when most people your age are playing shuffleboard or they're relaxing or doing something?
Yeah, they spend all week planning their haircut usually. I get to do every day what I love with people that I love. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
And so the greatest pleasure in your life, other than doing interviews like this, is what? Looking at new companies, making investments, giving away the money. What gives you the most pleasure? Your grandchildren?
It's all of the above. I mean, but the truth is that I regard Berkshire Hathaway sort of like somebody that a painter regards a painting. The difference being that the canvas is unlimited. So there's no finish line at Berkshire, and it's a game that you can continue to play.
Number 5, controlling impulse purchases. Now, let's talk about stopping ourselves from buying things on a whim. It's like when you see something cool, and suddenly you're buying it without thinking. The problem is, those little purchases can add up, and soon you've spent a lot on stuff you don't really need. To avoid this, try making a shopping list and stick to it. It's kind of like having a plan, so you don't get tempted by things that look shiny but aren't really that important. Also, be careful with sales. Sometimes they say something is on sale, but it might not be a real deal. Stores can raise the original price for a short time and call it a sale. Tricky, right? And those extended warranties for gadgets, they might not be worth it. Often things don't break, and you end up paying for something you don't use. So being smart about what you buy helps keep your money for important things instead of stuff that just collects dust. Number 6, avoiding the latest tech craze. Ever feel the pressure to have the newest gadgets, like the latest iPhone? It might seem like a big deal, but rich people don't always rush to get the latest tech. Instead of falling for the hype and always upgrading, they spend money on things that really matter and help them grow their wealth. Buying new gadgets all the time, even when your current ones work fine, is what we call excessive gadgetry. Rich folks are practical. They use their gadgets until they really need an upgrade, or until there's a big improvement in technology. Instead of spending money on constant gadget upgrades, you can invest in things like stocks, real estate, or businesses that have the potential to make your wealth grow over time. It's like choosing what's really important and not getting distracted by the newest shiny thing in the tech store. Understanding what the rich avoid investing in is a crucial step towards building lasting wealth. By adopting the mindset and strategies discussed in this video, you can make informed choices that lead to financial success. Remember, the road to true wealth involves careful consideration, strategic investments, and a commitment to long-term growth. If you found this video informative, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in our next video.